In the journey of life, the pursuit of wealth and material desires often occupies a prominent place in our aspirations. We are inundated with messages that suggest acquiring more possessions, wealth, and indulgences will lead to lasting happiness and fulfillment. However, the wisdom of Stoicism beckons us to pause and reflect on our relationship with riches. Imagine a sailor on a vast and unpredictable sea. The sailor sets out with a grand ship, equipped with all the luxuries one could desire. The ship is laden with treasures, gold, and extravagances, symbolizing the pursuit of wealth. But as the sailor ventures further, the sea proves tumultuous and unpredictable. Storms arise, and the waves toss the ship to and fro. The sailor clings desperately to his material possessions, afraid to lose his riches, convinced that these riches are the only source of safety and happiness. It is the only thing he thinks about and values. But then, the sailor encounters a seasoned philosopher who follows the Stoic way of life. The philosopher's ship is far more modest, equipped with essentials and tools for navigation. It lacks the opulence of the sailor's vessel, yet it sails the same treacherous seas with an air of tranquility. This analogy illustrates the essence of our exploration into Stoic philosophy. We are the sailors, navigating the sea of life, and our pursuit of wealth is akin to the treasures in our ship. Stoicism encourages us to consider whether we are clinging to our possessions in turbulent times, convinced that they are our sole source of contentment. Or can we adopt the wisdom of the Stoic philosopher, focusing on the essentials, values, and virtues that keep us steady in the face of life's storms? In this exploration, we delve into 9 Stoic lessons that offer a profound perspective on wealth, inviting us to reassess our relationship with material desires and encouraging us to discover true richness within ourselves and our choices. Wealth is indifferent. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy with enduring wisdom, begins by teaching that wealth is indifferent. In the Stoic worldview, indifferent does not imply apathy or lack of concern, but rather a recognition that external circumstances like wealth do not determine one's moral character or overall well-being. Instead, Stoics emphasize that the pursuit of virtue and wisdom is the paramount goal. To elaborate, Stoicism teaches that wealth, in itself, doesn't make a person virtuous, nor does it guarantee a life free from suffering. This perspective encourages individuals to recognize that the pursuit of wealth should not consume them. Rather, they should prioritize the development of qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Now let's consider a real-life example of how we can apply this Stoic principle and be truly rich. Imagine a person named Sarah who is striving for financial success. She has a well-paying job, a luxurious lifestyle, and a desire for even more wealth. However, she begins to feel a growing sense of unease and dissatisfaction. Despite her financial accomplishments, she experiences stress and a lack of inner peace. Applying the Stoic principle that wealth is indifferent, Sarah could reevaluate her priorities. She may realize that her relentless pursuit of wealth has led to a neglect of her character and virtues. She decides to shift her focus. Instead of obsessing over accumulating more material possessions, she directs her energy toward becoming a more virtuous person. Sarah starts practicing acts of kindness, volunteering in her community, and developing her self-control and wisdom. She finds that as she cultivates these inner virtues, her sense of fulfillment and contentment grows, even though her financial situation remains the same. She learns to appreciate that wealth, while useful, doesn't define her worth or happiness. In this way, Sarah's real-life example illustrates how the Stoic principle that wealth is indifferent can be applied in our lives. It reminds us to balance the pursuit of external possessions with the development of our character, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. Moderation is key. Moderation, a fundamental concept in Stoic philosophy, underscores the importance of finding balance in our desires and actions. The Stoics believed that extremes, whether excessive wealth, gluttony, or any other form of overindulgence, were detrimental to one's well-being and virtue. Instead, they advocated for the cultivation of self-control and temperance. In our modern, consumer-driven society, the Stoic lesson of moderation remains profoundly relevant. It's easy to fall into the trap of excess, driven by the constant pursuit of more money, more possessions, more pleasure. The Stoics advise us to resist this temptation by seeking a harmonious middle ground. Applying moderation in our lives involves self-awareness and the conscious choice to avoid extremes. This can manifest in various aspects, such as our spending habits, eating patterns, or even work-life balance. By striking a balance, we can maintain our physical and mental health while fostering a sense of self-discipline. Consider the story of Beth, a young professional with a demanding job. She was often praised for her work ethic, but realized she had become a workaholic. This left her with little time for personal life, relaxation, or pursuing her passions outside of work. Upon discovering Stoic philosophy, Beth was inspired to implement moderation in her life. She set boundaries on her working hours, ensuring she had time for exercise, hobbies, and quality time with her loved ones. Beth found that this balance not only improved her overall well-being, but also enhanced her productivity and creativity at work. Beth's story demonstrates how embracing moderation can positively transform our lives. By not overindulging in any one area and practicing self-restraint, we can experience greater satisfaction, healthier relationships, and personal growth. The Stoic application of moderation is a timeless principle for leading a more balanced and fulfilling life. Contentment, in simplicity. The Stoics teach us to find contentment in simplicity. In a world that often values opulence and excess, this lesson encourages us to appreciate the beauty of a simple and uncluttered life. Rather than constantly chasing extravagance and material wealth, the Stoic approach is to discover fulfillment in the everyday, the ordinary, and the uncomplicated. This Stoic principle calls for a shift in our perspective. It invites us to recognize that the pursuit of material excess can lead to anxiety and discontent. Instead, focusing on the basics and the essentials can lead to a sense of tranquility and contentment. Let's consider the example of Mark, a successful lawyer. For years, Mark was engrossed in a lifestyle that demanded conspicuous consumption. He accumulated expensive cars, designer clothing, and a luxurious home, all in the pursuit of what he believed was a fulfilling life. Yet despite his affluence, Mark found himself continually restless and discontented. Discovering Stoic philosophy prompted Mark to reevaluate his values. He decided to simplify his life by letting go of the excess. He sold one of his cars, donated a significant portion of his wardrobe to those in need, and moved to a cozier, more manageable home. This change allowed him to reduce the burden of materialism and find contentment in the simplicity of life. Mark's journey reflects the Stoic application of contentment in simplicity. By letting go of the excess and appreciating the modest pleasures of life, Mark experienced a newfound sense of peace and happiness. His example shows us that richness doesn't come from the accumulation of possessions, but from embracing life's simplicity and recognizing the intrinsic value of what we already have. Desire, what you can control. Stoicism provides a profound insight into the nature of desires. This lesson encourages us to direct our desires toward things that are within our control and to detach from those that are not. It acknowledges that we often spend an inordinate amount of energy craving outcomes or possessions beyond our influence, leading to frustration and disappointment. A vivid example of this Stoic principle can be seen in the life of Alex, a passionate musician. Alex yearned for fame and recognition as a renowned artist. He believed that success and acknowledgement from others were essential for his happiness. However, despite his dedication and talent, he had no control over whether he would attain fame or not. His desires were tethered to an external, unpredictable outcome. Through his study of Stoicism, Alex began to shift his focus. He realized that he couldn't control the outcome of his musical career, but he could control the effort he put into his craft and the integrity of his work. He decided to redefine his success based on these elements that were within his power. He found contentment in the process of creating music and improved his skills without fixating on external validation. Alex's story illustrates the Stoic application of desiring what you can control. By redirecting his desires to aspects of his life that he could influence, he liberated himself from the anxiety and disappointment associated with the uncontrollable pursuit of fame. This shift in mindset allowed him to appreciate the intrinsic rewards of his passion and ultimately increased his chances of success. It serves as a reminder that happiness is found in the journey, in the actions you can take, and not solely in the outcomes beyond your grasp. Avoid the hedonic treadmill. The Stoics recognized the perils of the hedonic treadmill, a concept well known in psychology, which describes the tendency for humans to adapt to improved circumstances quickly. This adaptation leads to a constant craving for more, as we believe that greater wealth or material possessions will bring lasting happiness. However, the Stoics caution that this pursuit of unending pleasure and luxury can lead to perpetual dissatisfaction. Meet Emily, a professional who experienced the hedonic treadmill firsthand. She believed that acquiring the latest gadgets, designer clothing, and exotic vacations would provide her with enduring happiness. While these purchases brought her moments of joy, she soon found herself back on the treadmill, chasing the next high. Upon delving into Stoic philosophy, Emily learned to recognize the futility of this cycle. She understood that her desires for extravagant possessions were insatiable and that they didn't lead to lasting contentment. Inspired by the Stoics, she shifted her focus from external sources of pleasure to inner well-being and self-improvement. Emily began investing in experiences that enriched her life, such as learning a new skill, practicing gratitude, and deepening her relationships. These activities offered her a sense of fulfillment that didn't fade as quickly as the allure of material possessions. She discovered that the pursuit of wisdom, virtue, and meaningful experiences provided a more lasting and profound form of contentment. In Emily's case, the Stoic application of avoiding the hedonic treadmill helped her escape the endless cycle of consumerism and find a more authentic sense of happiness. The lesson here is that genuine and enduring contentment comes from within, from the pursuit of virtues and a focus on experiences and personal growth, rather than the fleeting pleasures of materialism. In this way, Emily's journey serves as a poignant reminder of the wisdom embedded in Stoicism. The role of wealth. Stoicism offers a unique perspective on wealth by emphasizing its role as a means rather than an end. It suggests that wealth should be seen as a tool to enhance our lives and the lives of those around us, rather than as the ultimate goal. This perspective shifts the focus from the relentless pursuit of riches to a more purposeful and meaningful application of wealth. Consider the story of James, a successful entrepreneur. James, for much of his life, had defined his success by the size of his bank account. He dedicated long hours to his business, accumulating wealth and possessions. However, he found that despite his financial success, he felt a sense of emptiness and a lack of purpose. Through his exploration of Stoic philosophy, James had a transformative realization. He learned to reframe his relationship with wealth. He recognized that the true value of money and resources lies in their ability to improve not just his life, but the lives of others. He started to allocate a portion of his wealth to charitable causes, invest in projects that made a positive impact on society, and use his resources to help those less fortunate. In applying this Stoic principle, James discovered a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment. His wealth became a means to contribute to the well-being of his community and support causes he deeply cared about. This transformation was not only rewarding, but also allowed him to experience a richer and more meaningful life. James's journey showcases the Stoic lesson that wealth should serve as a tool for good, rather than a solitary pursuit. By using wealth to make a positive difference in the world, we can find a deeper sense of fulfillment and meaning in our lives. This Stoic application encourages us to view our financial resources as a means to create a positive impact, contributing to the well-being of ourselves and others. External events are unpredictable. The Stoics underscore the unpredictability of external events in life. This principle teaches us that no matter how meticulously we plan or strive for control, external circumstances remain subject to the whims of fate and chance. It's a reminder that we cannot always foresee or influence the outcomes of events that impact our lives. Take the example of David, a seasoned investor. He had spent years meticulously analyzing the stock market, predicting trends, and making calculated investments. He believed he had a good grasp of the financial world and was on track to achieve his financial goals. But the market crash of 2008 left him stunned, wiping out a significant portion of his investments. Discovering Stoicism, David learned to embrace the idea that external events, like market crashes, were beyond his control. He realized he couldn't predict or prevent such events, but he could control his response to them. Instead of panicking or chasing risky investments to recoup his losses, David decided to focus on what he could control: his reaction, his long-term investment strategy, and his emotional resilience. This Stoic application had a transformative effect on David's life. By accepting the inherent unpredictability of external events, he found peace and steadiness in the face of market fluctuations. He stopped allowing his emotional well-being to be tethered to the market's ups and downs and maintained a more balanced and rational approach to investing. David's experience exemplifies how the Stoic lesson on external events can be applied in real life. By acknowledging the unpredictability of life's twists and turns, we can shift our focus from trying to control the uncontrollable to cultivating resilience and wisdom. It's a reminder that our responses to life's uncertainties matter more than the uncertainties themselves, allowing us to navigate adversity with greater composure and equanimity. Avoid comparisons. The ancient philosophers imparted a crucial lesson about avoiding comparisons. In a world driven by social media and constant connectivity, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth and happiness against the apparent success and happiness of others. However, the Stoics advise against this practice, emphasizing that our well-being should not be contingent upon how we stack up against others. Meet Rachel, an ambitious professional who frequently found herself comparing her career achievements, relationships, and lifestyle to those of her peers. This habit often left her feeling inadequate and envious, leading to anxiety and dissatisfaction. Her happiness seemed dependent on constantly outperforming her friends and colleagues. Upon encountering Stoic philosophy, Rachel recognized the destructive nature of these comparisons. She began to internalize the Stoic lesson of focusing on her own path and values. She understood that true happiness lay in her efforts to improve herself, not in trying to surpass others. Rachel made a conscious effort to redirect her attention inward, concentrating on her personal development and cultivating her virtues. Instead of aiming to outdo others, she aimed to be the best version of herself. As a result, she felt more content, less stressed, and her self-esteem was no longer tied to the success or happiness of her peers. Rachel's journey demonstrates the Stoic application of avoiding comparisons. By acknowledging the detrimental impact of constantly comparing herself to others, she liberated herself from the emotional turmoil that came with it. Instead, she found satisfaction in her personal growth, virtues, and self-acceptance, emphasizing that one's self-worth should be independent of external benchmarks. This Stoic lesson encourages us to focus on our own journey, values, and development, and not to let comparisons erode our inner peace and happiness. Value time and knowledge. Stoicism places great emphasis on the value of time and knowledge as invaluable resources in our lives. This lesson reminds us that the pursuit of wisdom and the efficient use of our time can yield more profound rewards than the pursuit of material wealth or fleeting pleasures. Meet Michael, a career-driven individual who once believed that the key to happiness was financial success and the accumulation of possessions. He spent long hours at work and used his income to acquire the latest gadgets, fine dining, and exotic vacations. But despite the luxurious lifestyle, he couldn't shake a sense of emptiness and discontent. When Michael discovered Stoicism, he realized that he had been squandering his most precious resources, time and the opportunity to gain knowledge. He decided to shift his priorities. Instead of focusing solely on his career and the pursuit of external trappings, he began to invest in learning, self-improvement, and time spent with his family and friends. Michael's quest for knowledge led him to explore new interests, read more books, and engage in thought-provoking discussions. He found that the pursuit of wisdom and the meaningful use of his time brought about a deeper sense of fulfillment and contentment than material possessions ever could. This Stoic application underscores the importance of valuing time and knowledge as vital components of a fulfilling life. Michael's experience demonstrates that true wealth is derived from the pursuit of wisdom, personal growth, and meaningful experiences. By prioritizing these elements over material wealth, individuals can enrich their lives, find lasting contentment, and contribute positively to the world around them. Stoicism encourages us to recognize that the cultivation of knowledge and the wise use of our time are timeless sources of wealth that can provide profound and lasting rewards. As we conclude our journey through the profound wisdom of Stoicism and its lessons on wealth, we're reminded that riches, whether material or internal, hold a unique place in our lives. The Stoic philosophy urges us to find value in the virtues, knowledge, and the pursuit of wisdom. It encourages us to shift our focus from the external to the internal, from the pursuit of fleeting pleasures to the cultivation of lasting contentment. Just like the sailor who learns to navigate life's unpredictable seas with grace and wisdom, we too can embark on a more purposeful and fulfilling path. By recognizing the indifference of wealth, embracing moderation, finding contentment in simplicity, and applying the Stoic principles we've explored, we can discover that true richness resides within our character and our choices. If you've found this journey through Stoic lessons insightful and thought-provoking, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected to a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, helping you navigate life's challenges with a Stoic perspective. Together, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and inner wealth. Thank you for joining us on this voyage, and we look forward to sharing more wisdom with you in the future.